Okay. Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome to Hang On Here channel, and I'm Par. Either if you remember or if you are new here, I streamed the exhibition opening of Quarantäne 13 on 4th of June, and today I'll stream the first event of the follow-up artist talk series. So welcome to subscribe to our Facebook page or my channel for future events. I'll put the link in the description. And now I'll hand it over to our hosts today, Mark and Detlef, who initiate the whole exhibition.
Hello.
Right.
Hello, this is me, Detlef Schlakek, and my English is going down, but I want to welcome you at the artist talk of Quarantäne 13, and we did, I think about 2 or 3 months ago, we start to build a virtual world on base of Minecraft tests. And we invite more than 30 artists from around the world. And now we have an artist talk with Leda Vaneva, and also after that with Lieven Meyer. And I think perhaps, Mark, you have to give us some more information I forgot.
So we, as you said, we start today with Leda in, you can wave, like that. And we go to her gallery and she will talk about it. And probably, if you looked at now live, you can ask us questions. We try to, put that here in the chat, and then we can, and we probably just go. So we show where the gallery is. First of all, you have to load World 2. You will get into this main hall, which is the same in every world. And you can see here again the map, and on the upper right there is Leda Vaneva. We will go out her gallery. Okay, it's nighttime now. It's still a game, so can see probably where the moon is, so we it is. But anyway,
how long is the day? How long is the night?
I think it's half an hour.
Really? Okay.
Isn't it something like 6 hours?
No, it's not. I think we shortened it. I think to an hour or half an hour. It's now going quite. There's the moon. I think it's rising. Okay, so we probably will be at night the whole time.
Okay, this is the area of World 2, and we passed the Chinese pagode, and now we are reaching the art location of Leda Vaneva. Leda, where are you? Are you on beside me?
Hello, I'm here.
I think it would be very great that you could introduce yourself, say something about your biography, and say something about your artwork and where you're from and your age. Please begin.
Address and the bank account, all of that. Okay, well, I'm a visual artist from Bulgaria originally. Now I live in Helsinki, Finland, and I work with all kinds of media. I try to not restrict myself with just one, as you can probably see if you go through the works here also. The exhibition is called Image Makes No Sense. I have written it there. And there are a couple of reasons for this name. Of course, situation, Corona and everything, is kind of partly. So I came to this, having no clarity what's going on. During the time when I was building this, you can make no plans. You really don't know what's going to happen next month. This kind of I somewhat connected to this title. Also, I have been working with thinking about the image generally for a few years now, and starting from photography, slowly dissolving it, still kind of doing that. I have chosen somewhat recent works in this exhibition, so some of them are even just work in progress, not finished yet, but they are all kind of around this thing. Also, I think it connects kind of to this world, which is very you can build stuff, but they don't look like they otherwise in the real world. In that sense, whatever it is doesn't matter too much. I should say something about the building. At the beginning, when I started, I had some. It's like a blank page. Okay, there's this circle, square here. Now you have to build something. I was struggling for a very long time what exactly to build. I had a bit different idea in the beginning, but then I decided to make this hovering gallery that's kind of floating in the air as I can. This world, because I can otherwise, using that opportunity. And that's maybe some very, very distant link to the hanging gardens of Babylon, whatever, but not really connected to that.
Okay. Sorry that I interrupt you. I thought you will do something like a speech about your artwork, but perhaps I think I could help you with some small questions now. And to me, what the fuck? My game is going down.
Go on.
I have to, sorry.
Restart? Okay,
Mark?
then I take over.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, keep on showing your gallery, and then just tell us when you are ready for our.
Well, I don't have really some very long speech prepared. I just wanted to say about the beds downstairs.
Yeah, do that.
In the bottom here, on these lamps, yellow lamps, there is a kind of installation of beds, which I just put there. I wanted to put benches, but there was no bench in the possibilities here, so I think bed is actually could be more comfy. That a person can just go on it, lie down, and watch the cloud of a gallery that I have on top. This is kind of the site-specific work that I did for this.
Do you like? I mean, we often see in modern galleries these kind of places to rest in a gallery and just look at the artworks from another angle. Do you like that kind of things, or do you like classical walkthroughs where you're not allowed to touch, to sit anywhere?
So I guess it depends on the type of work, but I don't mind at all. It would be actually interesting if a person can find another angle to a work that I haven't thought about. It'd be great.
Okay, maybe we go from artwork to artwork. Let's go to the next, or.
Easy. But I like to repeat my question again. We saw this big sign, the image makes no sense. This one you can interpret it anyway, but above I can see something like a minimalistic symbol.
That's just my logo.
This is your logo, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pin from L and V is the shape that.
Now I see. Okay, it has no straight connection to the words written below.
Oh no.
It's just your symbol. Okay, I see. Yeah, then go upstairs and have a watch.
I'm gonna fly upstairs. You can fly in this world, which is big.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to start? I always ask myself if that is decoration or is it an artwork? Blue and the red thing? Sorry, I mean, it's kind of not like set like an artwork, like you have no space to go in front of it. Only
Mark, you're an artist. You shouldn't ask that kind of question. Everything that looks peculiar is artwork, you know?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I make fun of things. I'm sorry, I didn't want to make fun of your artist approach. It's just, I wondered. But of course it's the word.
Yeah, well, I don't know why I put it here. Right?
Is that a 3D object that you, or is it just an image?
It's going to be a 3D object. It's a kind of work in progress still.
Okay.
This is a little bit of a self-portrait almost. It's data taken from some medical documents. It's kind of a scan of my nose, then a bit manipulated.
Yeah, I thought first it's like this. I don't know if it's like a scissor cut where you have like two shadows. I don't know, two persons kiss each other or looking at each other.
They do look a bit like faces that kiss each other. No, they're not.
But
Just
it's
left and right side of nose.
you are the artist and you pose it straight next to the sentence. The image makes no sense. So to me, it's something like a clever, ironic commenter.
A bit you could that.
Okay, let's go inside and look.
Okay, I was really impressed of when I first came here inside here because
Sorry, Mark, I have to interrupt you. I think we have to be polite, so Leda is invited to say on her own something to her pictures, and then we are.
Okay.
Oh, no,
sorry.
it's fine. You can totally ask. I really don't want to make a speech about each work. I would really like to hear how they actually look to you. There.
Okay.
So okay, what I really liked when I first came in here was that you used the game itself and mechanic. Here, for example, you use the snow floor, and if you walk on it, you have really like the sound in your ears of walking on snow. It's really nice. It makes something with me when I look at the picture and when I think about your origin, or no, where you now live in Finland. I get this kind of feeling, everything, it makes a certain kind of emotional setting for me to look at things. They become more, not cold, but like, I don't know, everything is more like...
It brings a little bit of something more, yeah.
Yes, and if you...
I really like it as well.
And if you hear that sound of walking through snow, you can also have some interesting connections to the pictures we see on the walls because they are nearly totally dark black, but interrupted by small lines. And I think normally I used to avoid those questions, but in this case I think I have to do this question. How did you make these pictures?
This is another work in very much progress. This is digital drawing. It's drawing from a photograph.
Okay, so you made it by something like Photoshop or something like this.
Yeah, it's a drawing on an iPad, like with a pen.
Okay, so of course it is something like abstract, organic structures, very graphic.
The original photo that I used, they are all from the same photo. It's just water. I wanted to take it, like somehow take something out of that.
Water?
Yeah.
You took a photo from water and then you changed it digitally.
No, I didn't change the photo. I just drew on top of it.
Oh, sorry, I think I don't understand. So the original photo was a photo from something like water surface. Is that correct? Leda?
Yes.
The original photo was something like the water surface.
Huh?
You don't understand me?
Yes, it is a water surface.
It was a surface.
Yeah.
Normal taking digital photo and then you changed it by whatever program.
So then I just drew on top of it. Photo is not here anymore. It's just a drawing.
Okay, whatever. Okay. Now, and also I hear these water sounds.
There is a waterfall right behind this one that you're looking at right now. I think that's the one you hear.
Mm-hmm.
I was so impressed by the possibility to make a waterfall like this in the game, so I wanted to have several of those.
Yeah, but that's interesting to me as a viewer because I have something like experience walking about something like a carpet out of snow, and it makes this snow walking sound. And also I see some very black pictures, which you told that you took something like a water surface in first, and then around I hear the sound of water. So everything is something connected with water in different. Fuck, my English is not that good. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's a bit of an experience. The whole process of looking at it. I think it's important to have that as well.
And what do you think?
Yeah.
Now, something like a small provocative question. Does it fit? What do you think? You are doing something around water, perhaps by its intuition. And do you think these pictures you show us, these black pictures, that does not make sense?
Well, it doesn't have to make much sense. It can be more of a experiential piece.
Okay, I see.
Do I understand your question right?
And yes, I think so. I just want to provocate you a little bit. Because of the picture is a picture. You see it and you have some interpretations or some feelings about that. So it doesn't matter. I want to go out to the question, perhaps you told it before, about the whole concept of your building and your pictures you showed inside. In which way did you build your art location here? Just start and then what happens doesn't matter, like you do it one block after another, or did you have a concept before?
I didn't have the concept before, no. It evolved with the build. Mm-hmm. I just started building something and then it ended up being this. Actually, the idea to make this floating gallery came almost towards the end of the month that we had to build. We had this huge staircase here where there is now just a ladder. This metal staircase, and I also had a underground space
Oh yes, please show us.
No, I don't have it anymore. I removed that one.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, when I decided to make it. I mean, that's what I'm telling you. It's just evolved organically into this.
Okay, first we can go to the next room.
So Leda, can I ask you a question?
You have to talk the viewers who is speaking now. This is the other artist, Lieven Meyer, and he dare to do a question to Leda now.
Yeah, no, I just, you said you were making these images on an iPad.
Yeah.
So is this the first time for you? Because now you assigned them a particular scale to them. You know, they look very big, like in this world. So...
And that's one other... sorry, okay, yeah, ask your question first.
So is that like a way... So you specialized them, right? Like you put them in a space and you gave them a particular scale. So is this like the first time you like... I mean, in some sense you work in space with them. So you make them quite big. Are they? Because usually on an iPad they would be small and like more pictures that you hold in your hand. So
you can draw pictures on an iPad and make them very big afterwards. These won't be that big when I print them one day, for sure. It's one other beauty of this world, that I could just make the scale so different normally.
What do you do normally with them?
Well, as I said, they're still work in progress, so I'm not completely sure what I'm going to do with them. That will evolve as well.
To tell the interested viewer of the live stream, every time it's for me it was also very interesting how to show in which size I will show my works, because you can scale it like ever you want, and so you can show a very small art piece very big and the other way around. And I think this was a question every artist has to deal with in this exhibition, I think. So, but
and things are not so precise here in this world anyway, so you can just experiment and make it something new.
Okay, yeah. But we can see next room of your art location, please. Guide.
Go up. It's all going up.
Oh, sound of the letter.
I think it's great that it's night right now, because I think these look better in the night in this world.
Yeah, well, you can experiment a lot with these light sources here. Have like shadows. I also think it's really just...
Yeah, this is a series of shores that I found, which I'm changing in different ways. And this is also kind of unfinished in real life. Here it looks very much like an exhibition piece. You know, this also has a bit of a different scale. They look very big. This, if you lie down, they are like as long as a person. They are not that big.
Is this like a sketchbook for you, or looks like a...
Yeah, they are booklets. They have many pages, and like this one, and the blue one, and the one over here. The same type of brochure. I have a lot of them. I'm doing different manipulations to them. This one is a different brochure, but kind of very similar way, painting on top of the images and the text. the first one I have erased completely, like the images and the text are completely scratched out.
Is that like more sculptural work or like more 2D work? In this work now, they look two-dimensional, of course, like you do that work.
They are booklets, so they are kind of three-dimensional, but then in the same time the pages are flat, so I don't know how it would classify.
I have a different question, just about how to present it. You avoid to do these metal plates on the wall, which can give you a title, so you have no title for any of your art pieces. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't.
Why?
Because I wanted to. I mean, first of all, they are not finished again,
Okay.
and the title might change. If I put a title now, I'm kind of stuck with it. I didn't want to do that. Also, just leaving it to the viewers to like experience them as they want.
So you think the titles are not interesting?
No, titles are they're very interesting, but I didn't want to fix them at this point.
Okay. And what about these sheets of paper on this? Say something about that?
They are stickers that are covering the text and the images in this one.
Oh, please repeat.
They are stickers.
Stickers. Ah, okay.
Yeah,
And you glue it and take the photograph.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very minimalistic. Okay, next. Why do you show it as a desk and not as a picture on the wall?
I want to have a bit of a diversity, I guess, because it can be hung on a wall, but it can also be like this in the space. I think it's more interesting to see them in different positions.
Yes, I agree. So for people who are, oh no, we're just on our own. Okay. Jenny, hi Jenny.
So,
Okay, perhaps we go to the next room of your art space.
yeah, we can from here we can fly there. It's the easiest. Otherwise, you have to go all the way down to the other ladder.
I have to look where you are. Ah, you are a little bit more off. Okay.
It's all going just up.
And also snow on the ground, on the floor. To prepare myself to this artist talk, I was in that room half an hour ago or an hour ago, and then I saw this something like three-dimensional small sculpture or whatever I would call it. And this one was to me the most interesting one because it looks like something like a landscape, like a mountain or whatever, or part of a mountain. And but what is disturbing and interesting to me are those parts which don't fit to this white surface. What is that?
That is a broken translation of a physical artwork into the digital world, is what it is. It's a 3D scan of a piece of mine, which is 3D drawing originally, like drawn with a 3D pen. But drawing in 3D. But because I guess the scan app that I was using was not able to catch completely the drawing, how it was, because it's a very detailed drawing. that difficult. And then in the 3D software that I was using to kind of polish it a bit, it got even more broken. It fits completely, I think, the title of the exhibition.
Okay. So, but didn't answer my question. Perhaps I did not understand you. Not white parts of this sculpture. What is it? In some parts, it looks a little bit like sizzled photos or whatever.
It's the wrong texture. I don't know. You can say it's a glitch. It's kind of an error. The program.
Okay, you used something like an error to change it into a not error.
I'm embracing the error as a part of the
Accepting it.
What?
Piece of the accepting it as a part of the
I'm in peace with the error.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I wanted to. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Another one is another 3D scan, which also has a little bit of that error, but maybe it's less visible here. This is a jar that contains fetisized old prints of mine and artworks that were either not successful or just that I wasn't happy with them or something.
You destroyed those pictures and made something like confetti out of it?
Yeah.
That's
that.
And above on what is Deckel in English?
Okay.
And above we can see something like those arrows.
Yeah.
Okay. That fits most to your big title. Image makes no sense.
Kind of, yes.
It's also something like destroying. And also, it's something like you cannot destroy anything. It just changes the structure or change the view. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is completely what it is.
Yes, okay, I see. Is this the last station, or could you show us something?
There is one smaller thing left, a bit higher up.
Okay, we fly up.
And this balcony here, I was initially, I wanted to leave it empty for whoever had the patience to fly so long, like just to be around. But then I decided that maybe this poster fits here. It's a poster that I have to erase. It's kind of connected to those booklets. At least I'm saying it as the...
But this is the first one I saw in your art location, which contains something which I can see as a reality, something like a part of a hand or two hands.
Yeah.
That's the only possible answer. Yeah.
I guess, I mean, it's the most concrete thing that there is.
Yes.
It fits also to the title. Erase the image itself. Just leave the hand.
Yeah, I mean, even though the works are very different in the different places, I somehow I find the connection between them. They are like different stages of this process of erasing, turning them into something else.
Okay, we of course have to ask you...
Sorry.
No.
Oh, go on.
Okay, we of course want to ask you a question about how this kind of work influenced or this kind of possibility to make your works in that way in this work how it now changes your look for your next world? Do you think that like the Corona crisis and of course all the offers that are now like in the virtual world for artists, will they come up and be getting way more stronger? Will anybody go to traditional museums again? What do you think? Do you have to prepare for things like that in your future? Or do you think it was just a nice or not so nice experience that will run out?
Well, I guess for us it hasn't been that bad. At least I didn't lose any of my like close family or friends to the coronavirus, but I know many people have, and for them it must have been devastating. But I'm sure this will pass, and people will try to get back to whatever they're used to, as very badly. I mean, I think they're already starting now that they are loosening the measures and such. So I'm completely sure they will get back to the museums and galleries, and maybe it will take time to get like many people in one place, but probably galleries will adapt somehow to like accept fewer people at a time, going the works to like a small group or a couple of people per visit or something. I'm an optimist, and I think that this will be overcome.
Yeah, because I not thought in that medium. I thought about like that mediums like I don't know, platforms like Instagram, YouTube, or like Spotify for other arts. I mean,
you mean the digital side of things?
Yes.
Well, I just finished my first virtual residency last week. So, yeah, that is happening.
Yes.
Sure. But it's, of course, not replacing. It's maybe just adding another option to what there is already. It's interesting. Of course, it affects them, definitely, and it's going to leave some mark on the whole picture.
And how important do you think is like this emerging effect when you look at these virtual reality of the art thing, like we have here now, everything is like in setting of a very rough thing, but you brought your artworks actually not into this pixelated view. It's more like high quality, most of them, and really fine pixelated. I mean, you don't see any pixels.
I was actually considering to have them all very pixelated, because that would fit very well the aesthetic of this world.
Yeah.
But then I decided to, like, in the end, kind of blend together. It doesn't have to be either this or that.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you.
For being part of this project, and let us have something like an inside view from you about your artworks.
So thank you for inviting me to this project. It was really nice experience and like something totally new that I haven't done before. So this was great.
I think that's the same to us all. So we are very new to this kind of showing art. But you are now in Helsinki?
Yes.
Okay, and this is something like a residency?
There was a last week I was at a virtual residency.
Okay, but you are located totally in Helsinki.
Yeah. You live there.
Yeah.
Okay, and who invites you to our exhibition?
Elena invited me. We met in the Art Academy in Sofia when we were doing our bachelor degree 100 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, that was.
This well, sometimes it's an interesting question for the visitors or viewers, because every time they ask us when we start something like Quarantäne, how do we, what is the connection about the artists we invite? And you did the answer because you know Elena, who is also a part of the main group of Quarantäne, that she invites you because you know each other from your studies.
Yes.
Okay. Please tell me, how old are you?
I'm 35.
35, okay. Thank you very much, Leda. I would give
Thank you.
But that's possible this game.
Okay, I think Detlef has to go to the third world already.
I will do it.
We will stay a little bit more because his computer needs some time. And then we come there to see Lieven Meyer's work, which he had made there.
Yeah, the fourth word, not third.
Yes, it's the fourth word. Yes, sorry. Okay. Yeah. I would like to introduce, of course, everybody to look at those things for themselves. We will have the link how you can download that game, go into that into the 4 servers we have, and all the explanations how to do that. Doesn't need like longer than 50 minutes probably at all to get here. And then you can see that thing, all the galleries for yourself, walk around, and yeah. Good. Okay, let's try to go into the next world. And yeah, let's meet there, and we will start with Lieven.
Oh, what the fuck? I'm straight in before Lieven's building, and I wait for you.
Huh.
Yeah, and
That's
the instruction to join the game, the video link is in the description for this streaming. Okay. So.
Oh, Pop, by the way, did you see something with a comment or question of viewers?
Let me check now.
We show where the gallery is, first of all.
Oops, sorry.
Yep. Let's meet in the main building, which the same in every world.
Yes, please. But don't wait for me, because I'm already in front of art location of Lieven.
I think I'll collect the questions at the end after this one, and then we ask together, because now we are already here.
Okay.
So I guess maybe it would be better to start the Lieven's talk. Yeah?
Okay. I wait for you. Where are you? There.
I'm coming.
Good.
Getting there. I'm just trying to invite people to the world, and I have to explain to them that in order to hear us, they have to open the stream and try to get on the game. So that's complicated. That's not complicated.
Yes, that is one problem we had with this platform, that actually there is voice chat.
Yeah. So, but that did not work.
Okay, so we meet here actually at the
Right.
the gallery or the space which Lieven created for us.
Okay, I joined the group. So we do it officially.
They did.
We are very proud to present Lieven Meyer at Quarantäne 13. Lieven, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make a story here at the same time to invite people over. But yeah, so I know, yeah, I'm German. I've been living in Canada and Montreal for now, I think it's 7 years almost, or 8 years, I don't know. I came here to study and then stayed. And I know Detlef and Mark, so the whole Quarantäne collective, well, not the whole, but like the core part of them from my time in Kiel at the academy. That's where we met. So Jenny Reisman, and also an artist exhibiting in this project in World 2. She might have a talk later this month. She invited me as the third generation, right, of participants. I think there was like this, this core group of quarantine artists who started the project. Then you invited people, and then the invited artists invited people, right?
That's right.
This was special. So, was an exception. Normally we invite people, but of course we agree because we know your artwork and we know you, so it was no problem. But normally it was like this, that only we invite people. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It's something like that. We did this exhibition by going. In German you say ins kalte Wasser springen. What's the explanation of English?
I don't know. Just say jump into the cold water, I guess.
Yes. So
yeah, I mean,
it was very new, and also Lieven. But perhaps this is only an excursion. Please tell us more something about your artworks.
Yeah. So it's first of all, yeah. Thanks a lot for the invitation. I'm very happy to participate in this really interesting project. And as I said, I'm one of the third generation artists who had been invited to this project. So I had little time, and I was already, because I joined everybody at a very late point, so a lot of things have already been built, and I was very mind blown by what had already been built in these worlds. Or initially it was only one world, which had become too heavy, so that's why it had been split into 4 worlds in the end, because it's a fun thing. I mean, it's architecture. It's such a simple basis where you can build up stuff so fast and with such a simple technique, just cubes and texture. So when I was getting around to get inspiration, what people were doing, I saw that a lot of things have already been explored or are being explored. So I was thinking about, okay, so the basic thing, how this all works, is cubes and texture. So why can't I just, and in this project we are adding photos, so on these blocks being used as building blocks. So I thought, I came up with the idea. So why can I just, would it be interesting to play around with texture, with replace texture, because actually the thing how Minecraft and Minetest works is that the texture is very low resolution and very simple and simply kept, and so that you can build up a lot of stuff and it's not too heavy. And I inverted it kind of by using high resolution photographs that are put on the blocks, and then build build a world with them. And it's funny because then you get this kind of video game texture, photo rendered video game texture. You can see it's always the same block that you're using, so you have a kind of pattern, so repetition, but it creates this illusion of this 3D illusion of that's very site specific, because it's all texture from my from the world, like the physical world where I live in. So I found it interesting to migrate this impression into this game. So that's how I started. And Jenny, who invited me, was visiting me sometimes, or once in a while. Always, like, we met on the building site, and then she asked me, "Yeah, but where's your art? I mean, you're building all this stuff up, but you're actually, I mean, the concept is to build a gallery pavilion or museums or like utopian exhibition spaces." So yeah, and then I tried to connect this concept to these to the textures I was using. So because my work is actually, I don't like to work in galleries and white cube spaces. I really have problems with that. It's, that's why I like to compare them to like museums, like compare museums and white cubes and big galleries like Guggenheim galleries and big art venues to places like airports and shopping centers and malls, because it's kind of the same feeling I have in those places. It's huge and it's impressive and all that. So I don't know. I feel very comfortable working in everyday life context and spaces. I really like that. I'm really intrigued by work that is site specific or in situ questioning a place, transforming a place, which is not necessarily an exhibition place in the initially, and then transforming it into one. And also the constraint of artwork. One big constraint is that it's only working as art as soon as it's exhibited. You know, you have the problem when you sell stuff to a private collection. I mean, I'm not a painter, but maybe painters know that, you know, you sell something that has maybe a deeper concept, but then it ends up as decoration in a living room. So, you know, this whole thing, how art works in its exhibition context is very short-term. It's only hanging up, being seen for a short while, and the most of the time it's being held somewhere in storage and wrapped up and unseen. But that's also
sorry, I have to interrupt you, Lieven.
Go for it.
I have a question about Dépanneur, and I used Google Translator, and that means in German something like a Mischwarenladen. Small shop where you can buy whatever. Mm-hmm. And this is the correct translation?
It's in English you say corner store. It's maybe in German you would say kiosk or Späti. You know, here, the corner stores are actually the places where you don't want to run into a big supermarket and you just need one item or like one piece. Like you need cigarettes or you want to get your beer fresh from the fridge. So that's the places where you go.
And what's that phone numbers? Fantasy phone numbers or
no. That's also it's a corner store that is close to our house where we live, and it's funny because it's one of the one of the crazy. I don't know if it's a crazy, but I mean it's in a it's maybe in a neighborhood that's similar to Garden and Kiel, but with less migrants or like people with a migration background. It's but you know, it's a hotspot. It's a social hotspot kind of corner store.
But what's about that phone numbers?
It's the real phone number. You could phone them. You could phone them and make an you can order. They make free deliveries to your home. So feel free to call them. But I think from Europe you would have to dial 001 and then 514 and all that.
Perhaps
so I don't know if that's free at that point then, but
perhaps you can add it and have interesting connection to real corner shop.
Yeah, where you could order, and I connected it to an installation I made. You can, when you go like outside, you see here these 2 invitation cards. It's an exhibition I had in 2018 in Artist Run Center, Artrim in Montreal. that's dealing with experimental print and art, print art, all kinds of contemporary ways how to deal with print art. And I try to, like in this exhibition, I try to combine work with sculpture and print, and actually found prints in the supermarket context. So I made an installation of supermarket cardboard. So I actually did not print myself. I just used prints that I found which is really easy. I mean, those cardboards, you can find them. I think I collected a ton and worked with them in the space. So I just so that's what I did. Here I just reiterated or remade this kind of installation in this context here in the corner store. So because in this world with virtual material, I can do that, which I could never do at this extent, probably in this corner store. So yeah.
Okay, let's go inside.
Yeah, inside the corner store.
Wherever inside.
Yeah, well, it's not big, so. Yeah, I mean, also, yeah, so in this installation in 2018, I compressed cardboard in a supermarket and then brought it back to the gallery. I actually compressed at the end, the whole installation was compressed to one bundle. So here you see pictures of bundles, but I also made a whole floor plan full of cardboard. So I mixed actually everything up here. This exhibition back then had different stages, and here all stages are all together. Yeah.
Okay, question. I think this is the word César did.
What?
Sculptura. Yes, there was an artist. He is called César, and he was the first one who did compressions out of wood.
Yeah, right. With out of what? Out of cars?
Of cars, yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like sculpturally speaking, it's assembly. Like it's now how do you call this? Like when you assemble stuff and you put everything together in clusters and it's serial stuff. So yeah, it's kind of retaking that and playing with that. But also, what I found interesting is the link of art, print art and sculpture, because the first print, like the matrix to print, was made by sculptors in the mid-age. So it was actually, before you could print. I mean, the matrices were made out of stone and wood, and they were carved. And that was the sculptural work. So actually, in the early beginning of print art, sculpture is very much linked to it. So, and here, in this context with supermarket cardboards, you are using machines that do both. They cut out the pattern for the the DIY cut for the boxes, and they print at the same time. So it's a plotter and a cutter at the same time. So you really have a kind of hybrid to produce these boxes. So it's really a high-tech material that's actually just ending up as garbage. And
to me, it is very interesting. Also other artists in our exhibition did. To bring stuff from real world into this virtual world, play around with possibilities of this world which is given inside, like using prepared block from out of this game, and also using real stuff from the real world as a block which you then declared as a block of the game. So this is what is really interesting to me, to show people in and out.
Yeah, and also like little things like these concrete blocks that you have here at the entrance of the corner store. I mean, we have concrete blocks in Minecraft and in Minetest, but just replacing them like this, it looks so 3D. I find that really, really intriguing. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's maybe fetishizing that a little bit, but it's also like the texture of the pavement outside and all that. I mean, I don't know. It was fun playing around, but then also like this plywood here, like these clothes.
Oh, wait, I have to look. Where are you?
I'm just outside by the corner.
Okay, please show us the next room.
Yeah. So, does everybody know how to fly? I mean, we can also go just up the roof. I want to show you something. I want to talk about the billboard on the rooftop.
Yes, let's go up.
So all those who know how to fly can fly. Just press K and then spacebar, or take the ladder here and press spacebar and climb up, as I'm doing it right now. So yeah. So we're going up here to this billboard. It's on fire, right? Because real estate market is on fire. Everything's on sale, high on sale. So this is a collaborative work with the Quebec artist Charles-Antoine Blemetivier. It's you can call it. This is a reinterpretation of a urban guerrilla sculpture that we just installed on a public space in Montreal. It's not the same. It's simpler.
You put in real world a sculpture?
This thing here, yeah, I call this a sculpture. It's a billboard, but it's a sculpture because you build it up with the same constraints as you build a sculpture, and it has a societal impact also. And it's a real estate advertisement. With a website that's written here, jennydark.life. So we made a website and a billboard that is displaying the website and pretending to sell a luxury penthouse and new luxury apartment in the east of Montreal. This whole thing problematizes the real estate situation in Montreal that we have. I think it's a global problem in industrial societies at the moment, that you have these financial capital projects where real estate companies buy very cheap, buy off abandoned urban spaces in cities and erect huge condominium luxury apartment projects, and that raises that's a whole gentrification issue, and reshapes neighborhoods in a very radical way, in a very globalized way that makes it's actually not projects, not habitation projects for local people. It's an investment project. So here you see actually a fake project that we made, and it's a fiction. It's a fiction, but
The site is existing. It's not fiction.
The site is existing. The billboard is existing. The website exists too, and the project that we are displaying pretends to be a real project, and maybe it will become a real project. You don't know.
And they don't tear down your billboard. I mean, it's like guerrilla billboarding is not so easy to make.
Yeah, we don't know. We're just waiting. It's been there for 4 days now. And we keep observing, and we keep observing the Google stats of the website. So every day visitor numbers raise, and we have questions coming in via email. So we don't know. The idea is to raise the question, to bring it back into the attention of the people's attention, because there are so many, and it's obviously not creating more apartments for people who already live somewhere, want to live here. It's made to invest money and have your second, third apartment, and maybe have an Airbnb rent out on it, whatever. So this is collaborative work a guerrilla sculpture. And I really invite you to check out the website. I mean, it's in French, but they're very interesting pictures. There's a video that explains the project to you. So keep promote us.
That's really great, because in first we saw something like pictures from this dépanneur or this corner shops, which goes from outside to inside in that game, and now it's the other way around.
Oh yeah.
And then you can have the link to the reality again. So go back and please go to jennydark.live.
Yeah, go to jennydark.live, promote the new condo project in Montreal. It's a vision. It's a very audacious vision that we have there and that we are shouting out in the world. And keep questioning. And right, Detlef, you're right. It's intertwined, the whole thing. It's getting back to virtual, from virtual to physical, and I mean, that's actually all we can say about that.
Okay, please, let's go. And there, I'm very interested about what you will say to Utica, what you call Utica.
In the attic. Yeah.
Tell the truth, I really did not understand what you mean with Utica, but you will explain us, and so please go inside there, and then we talk about that.
Yeah, you're on the upper floor, right?
It's in the attic, so I'm just waving from my balcony and come in.
Okay, I'll come in.
Yeah, so it looks little bit like a mess here because it's an attic, right? So this is the place where you store our documentation. You know, this is also a thing I was wondering about while I was building this house here. You have, what would you put in an attic? In the attic, you put light stuff, paperwork, boxes of light things. So I thought maybe I can put some documentation here. And Utic, this is an installation. This is, I call it a para-archaeological sculpture.
What?
It's archaeology before history. So just put it into some simple words. This is in Utica, in upstate New York. It's a residency place called Sculpture Space. It's very interesting. It's like Afrade in Kiel, but a bit bigger maybe, and only for 6 people for 2 months. So and it's in an old Rust Belt area. It's the old deindustrialized area of North America. This whole, it's called.
But not in Canada. It's in New York.
It's in upstate New York. It's not far from here. It's like 5 hours by car from Montreal. So be pretty close to the border. So the Rust Belt is this area in the northeast of the United States, which has come out of the first industrialization and has declined after the Second World War. So a lot of all these industrial buildings came down, got abandoned, technology globalized and went away. So these impoverished pretty much. So it's a very, very intriguing city because the city is very much affected by poverty and industrial decline. So I thought, how can I work with that? So and then I the name Utica of the city is very special, and it's actually inspired by an ancient colony in north of Africa, Phoenician colony. That's where the name comes from, and that's close to Tunisia actually, and it's a colony around the birth of Jesus. So it's interesting because nobody knows that their city name comes from an old colony in north of Africa, and I find that interesting because America has you see that today how much American history is blending out certain details of their origin, and how things came up. So here I'm trying to link the history of the ancient colony of Utica in north of Africa with the history of Utica in upstate New York. So I'm mixing up everything here. So the map over here is mixed up. It's a layover. You have both maps on top of one another. And when I presented it to the locals in Utica like this, they were really confused. They thought they could not say, okay, which part is now from north of Africa and which part is really in the city. So they were, yeah, it was really confusing to them. And the sculpture I made here is playing with stuff I found in these old factory ruins and all around the place, which look pretty much neoclassical or classical, because from that time they could be part of that old colony because they're all using the same Greco-Roman codes. And so I made this kind of tub here.
So the room is something like you really need some time to understand what is going about. So you have to read all those signs on the floor, those plates, which gives us information about this special situation from that place in Africa and that place in the state New York.
Yeah.
So something like a little bit similar to that in and out we saw before.
Right.
It's like forward and backward from Africa to America and so on.
Right. I mean, it's funny because like over here you have this map, and then because ancient Utica was destroyed by the Islamic Empire, so by Muslims, and I just used this context. I just wrote the sentence on the map, and then some Muslims in Utica who saw that, they got really angry. They thought I was racist. They were saying, "Hey, what are you talking about? You're saying Muslims are destroying Utica?" But it's actually just, I was just playing around with these historical contexts, and I tried to explain it to them, but they were like, "Okay, no, you're a white guy playing around, fuddling around with history." So it really was messing up the context. That was really interesting. But basically this is an installation of concrete and copper pipes here in the trees, and I don't know, you can ask questions maybe, I don't know. It's
No, I think that this one everyone has to explore on its own, because I think it really needs time to read all those descriptions and have an idea about your concept. But I think this is too long now. So I think I would prefer to go into the next room and you guide us, please.
Okay. So here in the bedroom.
Bedroom where Wait. We have to go downstairs, is that correct?
Yes. Right, just come downstairs in the main space. So it's my bedroom here. And I have a picture here of the project Phony Monuments, and there you go with the term phony, fake, pretending to be and not to be real. It's also a project about about these luxury apartment projects going on and reshaping the city. And this is an audio guide. It's an audio guided tour.
A real audio guide, or is it fake?
No, it's a real audio guide. You start and you're guided through the district that is transforming, full of construction sites, and you are guided to a sales office, and you pretend to be a millionaire to buy a penthouse. And this is all explained in the audio guide, and you have a very special experience. But
okay. Just to repeat it, that I understand it.
Yes.
This is a real advertising of something like people who want to sell houses or flats.
No, it's actually it's the poster of an audio guide project. It's actually just an audio guide. I wanted to have sound here, but that is not ready yet. So with sound, we would have been able to listen to a piece, like a snippet of it, and it's the actual piece is an audio guide that you can check out on SoundCloud. You just go to SoundCloud and you type in.
Most interesting question to me is this audio guide was not made by artists. It was made by those.
No, it's mine. I made it.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, I made it. And you can go to SoundCloud and type Phony Monuments, and you will find 3 different versions. The most actual version is online too. And you will be guided. I mean, you have to be in Montreal and started from a certain point to be guided blindly to along these construction sites and to a sales office. In the end, you will earn $1 million also while doing it. It's, of course, it's a fake currency, but it's just like that. That enables you to go to a sales office and pretend you're a millionaire and you want to buy their best apartment, and then they will give you a whole tour around, and it's really funny. It's but you need to be in a certain spot to do it, because it's guiding you through an itinerary that is described. So
we cannot hear anything here now because
no. It's just the poster, it's a bedroom with a poster that reminds
something like a game in which you can go outside of the game and then explore this.
Right.
Audio.
It's in English. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you can travel to Montreal after quarantine and have the experience.
Okay.
So if you want, we can go down to the basement.
Yes.
Please.
Really looking for the.
Hi.
Yeah.
So Mark.
Yeah.
So anything to say? I mean, it's as you can see, it's linked to the project that's already shown in the dépanneur in the corner store upstairs. So.
And you also told us about this idea. I found makes sense that normally when you're an artist, most of your work are more or less unseen. They are packed somewhere in the cellar. The most works. Those ideas.
Right. Exactly. So this is actually an interpretation of that situation. That your work will be mostly shown in a basement, packed somewhere. So maybe the only things you might show is the merch stuff, right? The invitation cards that you maybe have still left, or maybe you have a catalog, or I don't know, all that stuff that's left over after a show. But the actual work is not visible. It's stored, and
you normally show only propose crappy photo of your work. I mean, not crappy, probably professional made, but they are small and
right.
Decide from that. Yes.
Right. I mean, you're right. I mean, even pictures, your documentation 5 years ago has a lower resolution, and is not even as good as stuff that you would document.
It is seen way more times, many times. Same with, I don't know, Instagram. They cut your photograph, your work. Very nice, But that is our future.
And also the fact that talking about architecture, that you would store in the attic upstairs, you would store the light stuff, but what would you put in the basement? That's your sculpture work. Everything that's heavy, that's bulky, that's taking space, that's not very nice to see in pieces, you would put it far away in the basement. And I find that, psychologically speaking, very interesting. So let's continue the basement tour, because I consider myself a sculptor, even though.
Let's go.
So we just go to the earthwork here. Yep. Why can't I? Am I in flight mode? No, I want to go downstairs. Okay, I cannot fall downstairs. What's going on here? Let's get shit away here. That's fine. Okay.
Did you make it?
Yes, yes.
Everyone's following. Yeah, so...
Again,
Yeah, so
some
this
kind
is
of... sorry. Tell us.
No. Yeah, that's where I stored sculptures. It's actually just documentation of a performance I did. I made a sculpture on my own body without seeing anything, and that's what came out.
Something like a public pool.
No, we're not in the pool. We're in the upper basement. There are two basements.
It looks like this was the question I prepared. I see water running down from the sky.
We're right now. I don't know. What do we see in the screen?
Sorry.
Yeah, we in this other. Hi Cedric. Yeah, some friends made it over. It's cool.
Mark, please continue.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, it's the it was a performance for the what was it, the 350th or 375th? Oh my god, I already forgot. Anniversary of Montreal, and it was also the 50th anniversary of the Universal Exhibition, Expo from '67.
I had first when I came in, it was really something like a historic museum, like archaeology thing or something.
Right.
And I really was pushed into this kind of motion and feeling to see something like, I mean, this statue now it's also over sized. I mean, like the size that we now relate to.
Yeah,
it's like 3 times higher than we are, and
yeah, and it's I like to use these glass cubes here to break the visibility and to invite you to see it from different angles and see it broken and all that.
Yeah, I mean the end case, it's like a vitrine. I don't know what's
like a glass box, like and also like an animal, right, that you would put in a cage. Like it looks pretty much dehumanized, and so the performance was pretty rough. It was 4 hours, and I tried to sculpt myself, like to mold myself, cast myself in plaster, and put these sticks on it to give it a grip. And but I couldn't see anything, and I did it all blindly, and it was a whole mess. But it created a form that I could not control, and this was my comment on the 50th anniversary of the Expo 67 Montreal, which is a very important expo for the city, because that was the universal exhibition that made Montreal global global city. That was when Montreal became famous, and that's very people. Like Canadians and Quebecers are very, very proud of the Expo 67, and the motto of the Expo 67 was "The Earth of Man," which is the title of a book of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, and it's actually a very positive thinking of globalization, like a very utopian idea of what globalization can be. Because, after the Second World War and in the 60s, with all this revolution going on, we were hoping that globalization would bring world peace. But 50 years later, you can tell it brought everything but not world peace. And so that's my comment.
Okay. It doesn't bring world peace, so I will ask you probably the same question like I asked Leda before. Don't you think those kind of times now
only possible like those virtual exhibitions, those kind of Zoom things, and we talk with each other like with no barrier at all, like in the World Wide Net, which is itself globalized, has no borders. Doesn't it like help our future world to come together to be like we can work on great projects together with everybody in the earth, and not just with the elite from a certain country has the ability to go or work in spaces together. So
yeah, that's very interesting what you're saying. I definitely think so. I mean, it depends on how we're using the technology, because I think we've gotten to a point that we can now, we can now control distances, we can control everything, but actually control is also destroying. It comes with destruction. So now actually I think we depend on local communities, we depend on local relationships, connections and networks, but connecting them in between, like through virtual technology, that's a very, very interesting way. And I think, the whole revolution that's going on right now, with, for instance, Black Lives Matter would not exist without cell phones and social network. It would not be like that. So I think, the connection is definitely, key. In the,
You don't have but for itself, it's also filtered still.
Right.
The same movement has not come to Africa, probably.
Right. Oh yeah. But But right. But it's a very interesting subject, like to follow up. But okay. Shall we go to the other place, to the biggest?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure.
It is the one I supposed that it is something like a swimming pool.
Right. So it's, just follow me. It's here, and you just have to fall down. It's called Away from Keyboard. So you can even take your fingers off of the keyboard, and you will arrive it by yourself. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, this pool is so big that even 3 water sources of river water cannot fill it. And I stopped filling it at some point.
It looks really like an empty swimming pool.
Still, huh?
Now filled empty swimming pool.
Yeah, and it's also a church at the same time, or a temple.
Is it the textures from a real swimming pool?
I have to admit that I have stolen them from the web because I couldn't find. I mean, I took pictures of tiles, but they were not really pool tiles, and so. Oh, they might be from a hardware store, from a Baumarkt. So so it's more bathroom. It's more bathroom tiles.
I mean, it works. Everybody knows.
Doesn't matter, I think.
For this piece, it's not important.
Important is, of course, I understand this is something like a swimming pool, and it is in the beginning of being filled. But also I see something like monumentic pictures or whatever with one to look like avatar or whatever.
It's an avatar from Second Life.
Okay.
And it's a piece I made with this avatar, and the piece is called Away from Keyboard, and I was very much intrigued by this this happened to us all the time while we were building this world, right? That you are, you meet Jenny somewhere, you talk to her or you interact with her avatar, but she's not moving because she's not on the keyboard. And because she's doing something else, maybe making a sandwich, and you think she's in the space and virtually online or present, but she's actually just her avatar that's present. So that's the weird moments that you can have between physical and virtual world when you're supposed to be online, but you're actually offline, but your avatar is only online. So I was playing around with that phenomenon. And this is an avatar from Second Life. That's the model, the most sold, the skin that is the most sold on Second Life.
I wonder this aesthetic from that, it has something, I don't know, from the social realism.
Yeah.
And even you can say, I don't know, first Arno Breaker stuff.
Oh yeah.
So shit.
There you go.
I mean, it is really. I was a little bit question marks in my head. What's going on here?
Definitely, it's. I thought the same thing, and it's funny because it's it's a democratically chosen skin. People choose it and they give it muzzles and very athletic, and then it has this kind of Beach Boy face. So the Superman type of thing, yeah, that refers to neoclassical sculpture in the 30s and 40s. It's very weird. I don't know how that comes, but it's also like a GI body at the same time. So yeah,
but
you have.
If I see it right, one of these avatars is deformed. So
which one?
Do a turn which is not possible.
Oh yeah, that's what he can fly. He's flying here, and when he's flying and looking backwards, he's doing that.
Something like a virtual Arno Breaker swimming pool.
yeah, kind of say, yeah. Right. It's funny because in the original piece, I used this as my model and I made a bronze sculpture, and I filmed the whole production process with 4 screens, with 4 cameras, and it was shown on 4 different screens. So I played around with this setting, and yeah. And also, it's so funny because then you have all these boxes here flying in the space.
Yes. They I also wanted to ask you. They make a certain kind of feeling like enlightening and I don't know, fairy, whatever word. Thing.
Yeah. And the fun thing is, I used them because the pictures you see are still footage. It's still footage from a video I took with this avatar. It's a whole animation. A whole music, like with Wagner music, celebrating the avatar coming to life from his AFK to virtual life, blah 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 situation. And I used these blocks as cameras in Second Life. So I was connected with 5 computers at the same time to make like a realistic, simultaneous kind of a shooting with the avatar. And these boxes on 7 Life, this kind of box is the cheapest and easiest avatar you can have. So this can be an avatar too, a box. And that would refer to Malevich, who said, man in the 4th dimension is just a cube. And I don't know. It's I found these things are very, very much linked to.
Okay.
Sure.
You also have a spooky shower. Nice.
Where are you in the bathroom?
Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, there are bathrooms. So guys, it's a long tour. So if you need a pee, feel free. Or if you need a shower.
Yeah, I saw also some very small rooms outside the swimming pool where you can take something like a shower, and that image or impression that you can use the shower, something like a public swimming pool.
Yeah.
To me, as a viewer, I really like to know what will happen with this room if it is filled up totally with water.
Oh.
It will never.
It will never.
I mean, you would need. Look, these are 3 sources I used. So it's 3 sources only. So I don't know. You would need maybe 100, and it would become really laggy. I don't know.
You can imagine it, but it would be a very interesting experience
To fill it up, totally.
in that something like to have a big room built by water and you are diving. This would be very interesting, but
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. The thing is, if you know, to fill it up, it's really hard to get the water out afterwards. Because then you have to find all these sources and block them.
Yeah, I can show you offline how to.
Okay, maybe it's an interesting experiment. Could be an interesting experiment.
But I have another question. It is like this. At the beginning, you told us something like you want to exhibit not in museum halls and those temples of art. You really like to exhibit in something like normal places, like halls or wherever. So the question is this: what is your ideal exhibition location? For you personally.
That's hard to say. That depends on the work and the project. I think the ideal is that you are in a place where you would not expect to see art, and when you discover it, it changes the space totally.
So something like a good working art in public space, wherever.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of public art is very, you know, it's not integrating.
This one we know that we are all the best artists. We know.
No, but it has so many, you know, there are so many compromises to do, and that biases the art so much. You know, you have architects to work with, you have engineers to work with to make public artwork. I mean, if we talk about sculpture, and then after a year, it's maybe broken and would not work anymore. So it really has to be very well worked out, and maybe only for a temporary purpose. But so I think
you would not say, oh, I don't go inside this art temple because art has to be in public space. This is not your opinion. You also accept art temple.
No, I would not say categorically that this is a problem, but I'm just like very tired of seeing art in its protected religious white cube place, you know? And I mean, I don't want to say that that's in general a problem. It always depends on the project, on the art. I mean, you can, but I think if you work with a white cube and with a white gallery space, it could be interesting to work with it in a site-specific way, right? To make it also, to reflect on it as what it is.
What is the difference? I think in our current time, in this virtual exhibition, it is also something like an art temple, only in this way that it is very protected.
It is. I mean, yeah, the problem is, like with a project like this one here, is that you can, you know, you're very limited. You're very limited to the aesthetics and to the possibilities you're given. So you also have to, I don't know, it's also very important to deal with the parameters that you are given by the game or by the aesthetic appearance. But that had happened. I mean, Victor's work is great. I mean, I think what he made out of it, it's just, you know, he used it to make a whole visual experience in space. So I mean, you know, and that's just one example. So I think yeah, there are a lot of possibilities, but in the end, what you're using is a computer and a screen, so it stays. The physical reference is only this kind of machine, you know, and so that's the limit. So you're also very limited. So it's just one possibility to play around. But I think the interesting aspect about that is that it's happening in your head. So, and there's a lot of space in one's head, right? So you can experiment a lot, but of course, it's not the same thing as going in a real cave and build a huge pool, right? I mean,
I think just to make some last words about the host stuff and also the other stuff is that we all did not really understand what we're doing here, because we have something like a mixture of several realities.
yeah.
An insight and possibilities given in the game, which were transformed with our possibilities, which we take from outside, inside the game, and so on. So I think it's very complicated, because there's a world which represents another world, which represents another world, which represents another world, and everything totally virtual and also existing and real. So I think this is the most interesting part of the whole exhibition here.
Yeah.
But do you want to show us another small last impression of your art space?
Me?
Yes.
I think we've seen everything.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, we can just gather outside, but no, I think we have seen everything. Right? Or do you refer to something special?
No, not at all.
Okay. No, but the thing that you said, real, right? You're talking about reality. I mean, I think this is all part of reality. So this is hard to distinguish between what's virtual, what's physical, you know? And it's just all, you know, virtual and physical are both real. So yeah, that's the whole philosophical term about what's reality is put into question here. And yeah, maybe you can just go. Let's go up to the library. I have 3 books in the library. Maybe we can.
The last station of your art location.
Yes.
Can I reach it by flying?
Of course. I think you have no choice. You have to fly. So everybody, fly, press K and spacebar to move up, because otherwise you would not be able to leave. Jenny's coming through the chimney. You could not leave the spot. Yeah, I think because in the library.
Wait. I have to go inside. Yes, please go on.
So it's a bit weird to handle books here in this game, but I put a quote of Michel Foucault. I know Michel Foucault, we already talked about him so much and so often. It's not the most original source, but I found it interesting because there's a very short radio essay from 1966, and it's called "The Utopian Body." Mm-hmm. And I think there's a quote that resumes, resumes pretty much what's going on. And I find this is pretty much linked also to this avatar thing that you saw in the basement, in the pool area. And he writes, "Utopia is a place outside all places, but it is a place where I will have a body without body. A body that will be beautiful, limpid, transparent, luminous, beady, colossal in its power, infinite in its duration, untethered, invisible, protected, always transfigured. It may very well be that first utopia, the one most deeply rooted in the hearts of human beings, is precisely the utopia of an incorporeal body, and that's
That's
actually
not really good to understand for people who did not speak very well English.
okay. It's translated in German and in French. I mean, French is the original language, anyways, but you can find it. The utopian body. I put it back into my shelf.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Sorry that I interrupt. I think we are now about
good.
1.5 an hour.
I definitely think so.
I
Yes.
think we have to stop this artist talk now. And I really like to thank you for your introduction and also for telling so much information about your artwork.
Thank you.
And we from main team of Quarantäne, we have to decide which one could be the next artist talk, or do we have to do some new guiding tours or whatever, and how long shall we continue our project now, and so on. And this one we will decide in the next days, and we will give you more information how it will develop. And the last words, I want to thank Leda, of course, and also
Sorry, I just interrupt because there's a question for Leda actually from the streaming.
Okay, please present it.
And so I read here, in your art I perceive a lot of lightness, the strings, the paper, the floating gallery. Do you think there is a theme to your work? So this is a question from the audience. Yeah.
Leda.
Or shall I repeat?
No, I think there's a problem with our audio chat because Leda disabled her microphone.
Ah. Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Right.
Did you hear the question?
No.
Please repeat the question again.
Okay. So
No, I heard the question. You don't have to.
Cool.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I have that theme, having it for a while, and I'm also using light as a tool in many works, and that's very much in contrast to what Lieven was talking about and his world here. So it's a bit disconnected right now. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Are there more questions from the audience?
That's it. That's one.
Okay.
So I think the last word go to Par, and we again want to thank you for your patience and that you made that able with your channel, and of course, I mean, we want to advertise your works here and your channel because it's all art related, and very interesting and very fun to look at what you're doing.
Oh.
So please,
It's my
have the last
pleasure.
word.
No, it's just like my huge pleasure to be part of this because I got to know about it only recently before the exhibition, and then it's very impressive. So if anyone's watching the video, really please check all the different words, the 4 words and a lot of works. And I already had a streaming, so the video is already in the channel, and people who are watching can also check it out. There are a whole range of fantastic artworks. Yeah, so that's it.
So that's enough for saying thank you.
Thank you, Detlef. Thank you so much. It was
No.
great. Oh, really. I'm humble. Really. I'm waving.
Yes, perhaps we can do it something like a last performance. Please watch out for new information, and please be interested in developing in how we will develop our project in the next weeks. Okay, so everybody's doing a cheer now, something like waving the hands for saying goodbye to everyone.
Woo!
Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, so I will end here now. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Please stop the live stream. Goodbye.
I'm staying.